I knocked on my son's apartment door, but there was no answer. I let myself in with the spare key I'd given him years ago for emergencies. The place was dark, except for a faint light spilling from the kitchen. The air carried a heavy, sour smell, stale food, unwashed dishes, and something sharper, like neglect. I set my bag down. Inside were 2 jars of homemade mulberry jam, the kind Umar devoured as a child back in Lahore, and a soft crocheted blanket I'd made for my daughter-in-law, Saba. Her voice had sounded so fragile on our last few calls, thin and distant, like she was fading. The apartment was silent, but not the peaceful kind. It was the silence that screams. I turned on the living room light. Empty beer bottles, cigarette butts, and a pair of women's heels lay scattered across the floor. Unopened utility bills were piled on the coffee table, tossed carelessly. I'd been calling Umar for 3 days. No answer, no reply. Saba's phone had been off for even longer. A mother's heart doesn't lie. I dropped everything, booked the next flight from Lahore to Karachi, and came without warning. I opened the kitchen door. Dishes towered in the sink, food rotting on plates, and there, on the counter, was a small bottle of Saba's blood pressure medication. A thick layer of dust coated it. It hadn't been touched in weeks. "Who are you looking for?" a raspy voice asked from behind me. I turned. It was the elderly neighbor from next door, the one who always called Umar Beta. "I'm Umar's mother. Where's Saba?" She shook her head sadly. "Umar? No idea. Seen him driving around with girls in that big car of his for days. But Saba? An ambulance came last night. She was in bad shape, alone, collapsed on the floor. They took her to the hospital." My legs nearly gave way. I took a cab straight to Aga Khan University Hospital. Her name was on the ICU list. The doctor told me her diabetes had spiraled out of control, severe dehydration, infection, organ strain. She'd been lying there alone for days, too weak to call for help. If the neighbors hadn't heard her fall and forced the door? I stood at the glass window of the ICU. Saba was on a ventilator, thin as paper, tubes running into her arms. My daughter-in-law was dying, and my son, where was he? I stepped outside as evening fell. I was standing near the hospital entrance when a white Land Cruiser roared past, music blasting, windows down. Behind the wheel was Umar, laughing, head thrown back. 2 young women sat with him, waving at passers-by, shrieking with excitement. That car, the one I'd bought him last year for 2.5 million rupees, for the family, he'd said. He drove right past the hospital without a glance. He didn't know his wife was fighting for her life inside. My phone buzzed. A message from Umar. "Ami, can't talk right now. I'm at the hospital with Saba. It's really serious. Pray for us." I stared at the screen. My eyes burned, but no tears came. Something inside me broke, not with grief, but with cold, sharp clarity. I walked back into the hospital, got a plastic cup of water from the receptionist, and sat in a quiet corner. 10 minutes. It took just 10 minutes to bury the son I thought I knew, the little boy with scraped knees who promised he'd always take care of me. That boy was gone. The car was registered in my name, the insurance too. I'd paid for everything. I took out my phone and dialed 15, the police emergency line. "Police control room?" I said calmly. "I want to report a stolen vehicle, a white Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. License plate ends in 786. Last seen heading toward Clifton with an unauthorized driver, a young man with 2 female passengers. He was driving recklessly." They took the details. I gave my name, the registration number, everything. Within an hour, my phone rang. An officer. "Madam, we've located and stopped the vehicle on Seaview. The driver claims to be your son and says you gifted him the car." I closed my eyes for a second, picturing Saba behind that glass wall. "Officer," I said, my voice steady as steel, "my son Umar is currently in the ICU at Aga Khan Hospital, sitting by his critically ill wife's bedside. The man you've detained is lying. I do not know him. Proceed with charges, vehicle theft, reckless driving, whatever applies." There was a pause, then, "Understood, madam. We'll process him accordingly." I hung up. That night, I didn't leave the hospital. I paid for a private room, a dedicated nurse, whatever Saba needed. Money opened doors that stayed shut for others. Umar spent 2 nights in lockup. I didn't take his calls. The next morning, I met my old lawyer friend, Narration, at her office in defense. We'd known each other for 30 years. "I need the apartment transferred," I told her. "To Umar?" she asked. "No, to Saba. Full ownership, gift deed, today." She looked at me for a long moment. She knew how much I'd spoiled that boy. "You're sure?" Never been more sure in my life. By afternoon, the papers were signed, registered. The apartment, the one I'd bought them after their wedding, was now solely in Saba's name. The car, I had it towed from the police impound and traded in the same day. The money went straight to the hospital's account for Saba's treatment. 2 days later, Umar was released. He came straight to the hospital, disheveled, unshaven, limping slightly. He scanned the lobby and spotted me. "Ami," he shouted, marching over. "What have you done? They kept me in a cell with criminals. You reported my car stolen? My car!" I looked up from the book I was holding, Saba's copy of Fayaz's poems, and met his eyes calmly. "Hello, Umar." He blinked, thrown off by my tone. You humiliated me. My friends saw everything. Do you know what people are saying?" "I know exactly what people should be saying. That a man left his sick wife to die alone while he partied." His face flushed. "I was coming to the hospital. You drove past this building laughing with 2 girls while your wife was on a ventilator. Don't insult me with lies." He glanced around nervously, then lowered his voice. "Okay, fine. I messed up. I'm sorry. Just fix this. Tell the police it was a misunderstanding. Give me the car keys. I need to." "There is no car," I said. "I sold it. The money is paying for the woman you nearly killed." His mouth opened and closed. "And the apartment," he whispered, suddenly pale, "is now in Saba's name, legally, completely." He staggered back a step. "You can't." "I already did." He stared at me, eyes wild. Then he turned and ran toward the ICU. "Saba!" he shouted, bursting through the doors. "Saba, tell them." A private security guard I'd hired that morning stepped forward and blocked him. "No unauthorized visitors," the guard said firmly. "I'm her husband." "Not according to the patient's instructions," the guard replied. "Step back." Umar tried to push past. The guard gently but firmly escorted him out and shut the door. He turned to me, breathing hard. "Ami, please, I'm sorry. I'll change, I promise. Just don't do this." He dropped to his knees in the corridor, grabbing my hand. "I have debts, bad ones. If I don't pay, they'll hurt me. Please, Ami, you're my mother." I looked down at him, at the man who'd used my love as a weapon, who'd starved his wife of care while spending my money on nights out. I pulled my hand away. "Stand up, Umar. You're embarrassing yourself." He rose slowly, tears in his eyes. Whether real or performed, I no longer cared. "You made your choices, Umar. Now live with them." 6 months later. I live in a small apartment in the same building as Saba. I sold my business up north and moved here to be close, but not to crowd her. Saba recovered slowly. She's back at work part-time at the library, restoring old books. She paints again, soft watercolors of the sea, of sunsets over Karachi. She calls me Ami now, and every time she says it, something warm settles in my chest. We never speak Umar's name. One evening, walking home from the market, I passed a petrol station. A young man in a grease-stained uniform was washing a black SUV, scrubbing hard under the watchful eye of his supervisor. He looked up. It was Umar, thinner, older, eyes dull with exhaustion. For a moment, we just looked at each other. He opened his mouth as if to speak. I didn't stop. I didn't slow down. I simply walked past, my face calm, my heart quiet. My phone buzzed a few minutes later, a text from an unknown number. Ami, please, I'm sorry. I understand now. Just 5,000 rupees. I'm hungry. Give me one chance. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I blocked the number. Ahead of me, the lights of our building glowed warmly. Saba was waiting with tea and the new painting she wanted to show me. I smiled, quickened my step, and went home, to the daughter I finally deserved.